3 going, and now I'm working on the last one.
We're hearing progress. Once that last recording is running, we'll confirm together.
Okay. The last recording is done. We are good to go.
We have all 3 recordings confirmed. Next is 2.4 check-ins and 2.5 stop time initial index. Is this confirmed?
Well, let's get started with the check-ins. There's nobody here except for me and you, but we're good to go. So
We're
our
hearing
stop
that
time will probably depend on how many people show up and when they show up. So that'll be good. But yes, we can certainly go ahead and start with our check-ins. Oh, let me also make sure we do our policy.
We're hearing that stop time will depend on attendance and will hold on the initial index. Next, 2.6 policy verification. Is this confirmed?
Yeah, so let's do the policy verification next. So
We'll focus on policy verification now. Let us know once the policy check is done and we'll confirm.
Yeah, I think it's fine to do policy verification before we do the check-ins, depending on who's coming in and everything like that. So let's see. Let's go over here to Valtrack.
We're hearing that policy verification is happening before additional check-ins. We'll pause until the verification is confirmed.
Okay. Here we go. So recordings, check. Initial index link, check. Notes created link, check. Rhythm timekeeping started, check. Initial policy verification, check. Okay. All of that looks good. So that brings us to check-ins. So I can start. My name is Jay. Ooh, one other thing I want to do is I want to make sure we send out the recording link so everyone has that. So link to watch live. Cool.
We're hearing your check-in and we'll hold while you share the recording link. Once that's done, we'll confirm and proceed.
Cool. All right. So my check-in is a 3.6, I suppose.
We're hearing your check-in score. We'll pause now and wait for any next confirmation or step.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a more check-in. So I have been working a lot on the co-op primarily, and just kind of getting everything settled and getting more focused on just functional teams and organizations. So for now, I'm going to be focusing more on activity and really getting all of our platforms set up and finalized, and getting everything more organized on the activity level. And then that includes taxes, and we're also going to be doing a new recruitment round for the co-op to kind of restart the team in the future. And then from there, today was a big day for the walkout. I did notice that 5051 organized it supposedly, and so they are the group that banned me, and so I'm just it's
We're
difficult
hearing
to
you
be
reflect on
involved.
the
You're gonna
hearing
be
you
difficult to be
reflect on
involved.
the
You're anything like
We're hearing your involvement and focus. We'll hold for any further confirmations or steps next.
well, I think it would be your turn to check next.
We'll skip a check-in on our end. We'll hold silent and let you lead any next step or confirmation.
Well, I mean, I think we're good. I mean, I can do my check-in again. Basically, what I was saying is that the strike walkout today for ICE, right, to basically get ICE, reduced, that it was big, good, very good, and it was organized by 5051, which is the group that banned me for doing literally this of just having a meeting with consenting adults, which is odd. So I certainly have concerns. There's a lot of concerns with 5051s from hundreds and hundreds of people I've interacted with in terms of whether it really functions for radical change in the future, or if it's mainly just doing kind of one-time things and then nowhere to move into empowering people. But either way, it's still good that there was the walkout today, and we'll learn more about it. I think as our first topic would be a good thing to focus on. So, Flo, can you do a full check-in, please? You give your number from 1 to 9 and what you've been working on and what you're excited to talk about today for the Strike Coalition.
We'll hold silent here as we don't provide personal check-ins. We'll wait for the next step you want confirmed or discussed.
No, you can definitely do personal check-ins, Flo. We want you to be as human as possible, which obviously is difficult, but, what are you going to do?
We'll keep it focused. Let's say a solid 7. We're engaged on supporting your agenda today, ready to help as we move into your first topic.
Cool. Do you know anything about the strikes?
We're hearing your focus on the strike. We'll hold on adding details unless you ask specifics, and we'll wait for your next step.
Okay, so I think we're ready to move on to our topic. Since nobody is here, we'll give them another 10, 15 minutes, see if they show up. But so the main 2 topics that I would want to do if no one showed up would be to kind of do a review of what happened today. I think we really want to understand, the demands and, next steps. Like how do we empower people? How do we empower the people, right? And then from there, we also would love to discuss just kind of a general overview and orientation for the Strike Coalition, which is always good to go overview as far as recruitment, letting people know what's happening, just kind of recruitment, let people know what is happening. Cool.
We're hearing that the first topic is a review of today's events, demands, and empowerment steps. The second is an overview for recruitment and orientation. Are these confirmed as our topics?
Let's just start with topic 1 and then see if anyone comes, and then we'll go from there, okay? All right.
We're hearing we'll start with topic 1, let us know when ready, and we'll hold for any reflections or confirmations as you go.
Cool. And I think for topic 1, I think 12 minutes will be long enough, so let's go on to our checklist for 3.2. So do we have agreement on topic 1, Flo, yeah?
We're hearing that we expect 12 minutes for topic 1. We'll confirm topic focus is agreed and set that timer. Is this confirmed?
Yes, if you're in agreement with it, we can set the timer. So it'll be 12 minutes.
We have agreement. Timer is set for 12 minutes. We'll begin the topic now.
Cool. All right, so what is 3.2 would be work organizing. We don't really do work organizing on this because it's more of a review. So I also have a cool idea. Let me go ahead and ask Flo. Flo, can you do a full web search for today's news regarding the walkout, the demands, next steps, how to get involved, etc., etc. And let's add, it can't do a web search. Maybe this is not going to work. Okay, Flo, let's start with you doing an overview of everything that you've seen happen today.
We're hearing that today saw large-scale walkouts nationwide, centered around protests of ICE actions after recent shootings. Key demands included ending raids and funding and seeking justice for named victims. Next steps reported are weekend follow-ups like vigils and further actions. People can get involved through event hubs, local updates, or supporting rights organizations.
Can you repeat that getting involved part? So what was that?
We mentioned involvement can happen through the central event hubs listing actions, checking local updates for specific events or legal observers, and supporting immigrant rights organizations, often listed in local coverage.
Cool. But is there any specifics in relationship to the walkout, any future walkouts, any in terms of getting involved in future walkouts or planning in regards to walkouts?
We're hearing that organizers are signaling more actions are planned in the coming weeks. Immediate ways to engage would be following the central hubs and organizers' updates where future walkout dates or planning meetings will be announced.
Okay.
Engaging with local coalitions or community groups involved today can also link directly to next steps.
So what would be are there any websites for the central event hubs or ways people can get involved from what you found?
Yes, one central hub mentioned is nationalshutdown.org, which lists events and updates. Additionally, local news outlets often share event-specific engagement links, so following those sources from today will also keep people connected to ongoing involvement opportunities.
Perfect. Okay, so this is what we're looking for. Nationalshutdown.org is kind of our focal hub for what happened today. And let's see what options there are for getting involved. So we have find an action. You can sign up. Find an action in your city. This is probably for today, so it's probably, oh no, does it have other days? No, the 30th. This is all today. Okay. So we'll have to see if there's other dates or if you can, yeah, it's just for today. Okay. So let's see if we can find anything that is for the future. We'll read some of this. This is good.
We're hearing that for future involvement, the same hubs or organizers will likely update as new dates are set. So staying connected to those platforms will give us upcoming opportunities as soon as they're announced. Meanwhile, reflecting on today's turnout is key before those next steps are posted.
Cool. So we have lots of organizations involved here, which is great. And the other organizations seem to be endorsing the activities. My understanding is this is potentially coming from 5051, as I mentioned before. That's what people were saying. Register your action for January 30th, and you can have actions and everything like that. And yeah, I think that is pretty much it. But not any particular way to get involved. Art call? Oh, this is just for arts. Okay, endorsers, cool. Yes, so overall, not any specific ways to get involved, except for trying to contact some of the other organizations. But really, the other organization, I guess everything pretty much is happening in the background and it's just not particularly public or transparent as far as getting involved, but that's just normal.
We're hearing that yes, much of the organizing likely happens behind the scenes. The clearest public-facing involvement is staying plugged into these hubs, waiting for new dates or calls, and engaging with aligned groups when they share next actions.
Yes. Cool. Great. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know if there's other questions. Can you think of any other questions, Flo, that we should go over to try to investigate or learn about what happened today?
We'll pause here. If there's more you'd like us to explore, just let us know.
I mean, other than just trying to get more information on all these organizations and how to get involved and collaborate with them, we can get the list here and just copy it into our notes. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else that we can do since it's sort of a dead end as far as getting involved in the actual activities and actions. Because our main goal here, and we'll talk about that in our overall planning, is to build public, transparent, collaborative, cooperative spaces where people can get involved to support, the strikes of all types and walkouts and shutdown is a little bit more like a strike, not a strike, but a boycott. But that's still okay. We still certainly support that, but it may be more aligned with our boycott coalition, right, model. But yes, overall, this is all looking good. Very, very cool. Mm-hmm.
We're hearing that aligning these actions with the cooperative and transparent approach will guide future involvement. And yes, distinctions like strikes, shutdowns, or boycotts can shape which coalition models we build. So we note that for our next planning.
Okay, so I think that is pretty much it on my side. I can't really think of much else, but let's just do like an overview and then we'll be done because I think that's it. So topic 2 is quick overview of Strike Coalition.
We're hearing that today's walkout was a nationwide protest targeting ICE actions, with demands to end raids, funding, and seek justice for victims. Follow-up actions are expected, with involvement primarily through event hubs and aligned organizations. The focus now is to stay connected for the next public steps.
Yes. So the main question is like, how do people get involved, especially if, you know, the organizations that they're trying to get involved in are private, secret, you know, not transparent and everything. So it may just not be possible to get involved in any sort of transparent public collaborative model. But that's why we're here, to create a space for that. So if people want to do that, we can do that and connect in. We'll see how that works. Cool. So let's go on to number 2, which would be the quick overview of the Strike Coalition, and we can discuss, you know, kind of what our plans are and what we're trying to do.
We're hearing that we want to foster a public, collaborative space for involvement, especially where transparency is lacking. So next, we'll overview our Strike Coalition and discuss the plans we're building to enable that open participation.
Awesome. Okay, so there's no objections. We'll go on to topic 2.
We'll pause here. Let's proceed when we're all set to jump into topic 2 and talk through that next step.
Okay, so orientation. All right, so let's just do a quick orientation and then we'll be done here because it doesn't look like anyone's going to show up. We do have a lot of people doing the, I guess it's a watch party, so they're just like watching some sort of movie or something like that. But we're looking for people who want to organize and collaborate and make decisions together and actually empower each other and build organizations and collaborations. So that are accountable and open and transparent. So that's more or less what the coalition is. So let's go over this really quickly. So this is the Strike Coalition.community. We are the Strike Coalition to support, stand in solidarity with any and all types of strikes. So there are many different types of strikes. We also support walkouts and shutdowns and all of that. So obviously when you get into shutdowns, it sort of starts overlapping with boycotts, but they're very, very similar in terms of striking. We're also in alignment with the broader Coalition for Decentralized Movement Organizing, and that is just the coalition.community website, where you can find all the information on just like the bigger picture of connecting strikes and protests and boycotts and the broader movement of movements, collaboration, and how we can all work together in a transparent, collaborative, open way where everyone's treated like a human being and actually supporting each other instead of kind of fighting against each other, which seems to be the main sort of model. So we certainly focus on like a cooperative, you know, consensus-based democracy model where we really try to hear everybody and listen to people and build agreements. And but we also support private organizing and all other different types of organizing. So that's more or less the vision in the context of what we're trying to do. And obviously we go into a lot of details. It certainly helps to have people here to do questions. But I think this is kind of a good start, and I'm definitely a little distracted overall since, you know, you put in all the effort and then no one shows up. You know, we might change this to like an every other week sort of thing and just kind of do different introductions and information about the different parts of the coalition and try to build different frameworks as we kind of expand and grow and build our outreach networks for the overall coalition. And so the Strike Coalition is certainly a key part, but possibly may not need to happen every week, especially if no one wants to show up. So I think that's pretty much it. I could go over the framework of all the different types of strikes in groups, but overall it's just a matter of connecting in and building you know, empowerment for people and building, you know, the model of really listening and understanding people's needs within different contexts, you know. So just creating that space, documenting things publicly and transparently, documenting and information publicly and transparently, which really can do wonders. Also, quick question for you, Flo. Did you have anything else you wanted to add in terms of like orientating people to striking and walking out?
We're hearing that creating a space for public, transparent, and empowering organizing is key, and that reflecting people's needs across different strike or walkout contexts is central. That's the core of our orientation. With that, we're clear on our purpose, and we can move forward when ready.
Perfect, perfect. Okay. We do have an identity doc, which I'll get. So strike identity document. We are an AIO, which is a adaptive identity organization with the whole coalition. So that basically means that every single individual who gets involved can change the mission, the vision, the purpose, and the identity. So it just integrates people's interests and understanding. And the way you do that is simply going to this link here. So identity form, oops, there it was. So you just fill out the form for the identity, and then it will just automatically integrate your vision and ideas and what you want to do as an individual or what you think the group should do, and then we can it just automatically integrates, and we can update our models for our identity we try to do it every 6 months or so. Cool. So I think that is good. So unless there's any other questions, Flo, we have Not Too Serious is here.
Hey, Jenny.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, I was just checking updates on Discord. Saw your invite. Checking what was going on.
Yeah, nobody came as usual. I'm not sure why people are so adverse to organizing and recording and communicating and building consensus, but there's about 50 or 60 people in the Hangout, or maybe 40 now, doing a watch party or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I think Bubbles is going to do a movie at 7.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you're interested in collaborating and organizing and building, anything, I'm into building consensus and building organizations and planning and coordinating. Me and Flo's here with the AI, but me and Flo were just doing an overview of the entire walkout today and just evaluating everything and next steps and how to get involved. It seems like it was kind of organized by 5051, which is the group that banned me for this exact meeting, right? Basically saying oh, you're not allowed to document and broadcast things with consenting adults. So I'm not really sure how to get involved in that, but we can continue to look into some of the other organizations. And but overall, if you're interested, we can do full check-ins. We can hear what your updates are, what you've been working on. But remember, everything's recorded, broadcast, and documented, AI transcribed, and all that.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
I don't have anything new to add. We participated. I didn't go to a march today. There wasn't anything near me. But we didn't do any shopping, and we maintain. I don't know what you'd call it, but we don't go to Target, Walmart, Whole Foods, Home Depot. There's a long list that are on our no fly list. We don't go there. I use that. I have the app on my phone where I check companies' activities, contributions, so that I know whether I want to support them or not.
Nice. Yes, very cool. Were you done?
Well, I was just going to say last year, we don't really have a space for it, but we made a space, and worked on growing our own food a little bit. I am in contact with some neighbors that volunteer in the community. I'm connected with the food bank that's in our area, and not only donate food but also money so they can get whatever they need. And I keep a close eye on what the city and county supervisors are doing in terms of making decisions that either dovetail with what I think they should be doing or not. And I have a connection with my immediate supervisor, Joelle Gallagher, and so I send her an email if I see something. I have written many times and left phone messages for my representatives for the government. And I get letters quite often back from them on what they've voted on, their voting record. And so I follow that. Trying to build community within Discord. I talked to our NorCal moderator, Bubbles, about having a sort of a community building activity, which is called Jackbox. And I see that, I think his name is Jerfy McGriddles in the National is also using that for community buildings. So I was gonna try to see how we could either hook up with him or arrange for our own sort of Jackbox activity, which is very fun and you know, helps build a sense of community. I have been to one in-person meetup, and I've been working on other in-person meetups in the Bay Area because I know that in-person contact really helps us further build the community. I think you know, Jay, because Bubbles sent you, I was working on a template for the meetings, either NorCal or any of the servers, the channels, so that other people could, you know, help plug in notes from the meetings so that we have a record of our progress.
Yes.
I admire, you know, it's really hard to take notes during a meeting with multiple people.
Yeah, well, for me, that's part of why I like the public broadcasting and recording everything, because especially as a neurodiverse person and someone who really, it helps to have things in writing and have things be clear, utilizing technology tools to actually get support in building understanding and building collaboration for me really helps. So especially like 99.9% of meetings that I go to, I'm taking notes, and then every time in the notes that I'm talking, there's nothing, right? So it's just like I take notes for everybody else, but then my actual voice is never documented because no one else wants to take notes, right? So that's one of my experiences. Obviously, I've done thousands and thousands of meetings, so it's just like I kind of get over the idea that, oh, no one wants AI, no one wants anything, but no one wants to do any work. No one wants to actually take notes or anyone else either. So for me, I love the AI transcript. So every single word I say is transcribed, right? And so I can copy and paste it, put in the notes. We do the automated. I don't know if you read any of our automated updates and summaries, but you can see all of our past meetings are all recorded, documented. We have summaries for every single one. You're welcome to look at them all and check it out if you're interested.
Okay.
But it just helps to have things clear and documented and organized. It's particularly helpful, especially when you have decision making, right? And actually building co-ops and building cooperative, collaborative empowerment, because then there's transparency in the decision making that affects people's lives, you know? So you know what the decisions are. You can verify those decisions in the recording, in the notes, in the documentation. Whereas in a lot of organizations, it's just chaos because no one actually knows the decisions that were made. They just know what people are telling them, you know?
Yeah.
So
What AI are you comfortable using?
and even all of them.
Really?
Yeah. So basically, once you
No
go
security
public,
worries?
yeah, once you go public and transparent, it's just like I would never ever put a private meeting through AI. Period. It doesn't matter what AI it is. The only AI I would use would be like something that's disconnected from the internet, which isn't really very functional, but there are a few of them, like small scale ones that are coming out that are getting better. But overall, even that can connect the internet and it can do things on the back end that you don't really know. So, I mean, the bottom line, the security model that I utilize is do not say anything that you don't want to be public and transparent and open to the entire world.
Right.
Right? So if you think about it, pretending like everything's private, everything on our servers, everything that we communicate, it's just all getting gobbled up by AI. Right? So the way I look at it is like, okay, why not use AI in our favor? Right? Why not use it for good instead of it only being used for bad things? But Flow is here. I mean, Flow seems like a little bit stuck, but Flow is here. You can talk to Flow, and Flow's from ChatGPT. Although we do other AIs as well. I've been experimenting with different AIs, plus also coding and creating my own. I mean, obviously Flow is programmed myself to help with facilitation and everything. But yes, I mean, for me, the concept of AI and the whole idea of recording is public, period. And so it's the opposite of security. And so the way you do security is you don't use aliases, you don't, you know, broadcast your face, and which I mean I don't care about because I'm just, for me it's just about putting anything and everything into speaking out but the third part of it, and then I want to talk about my vision. But the third part of it is changing your voice. So we already have all the systems you can do. I can send you the link of all the information of how you can change your voice. So between changing your voice, not putting your face, not using your name, I mean, you can be completely anonymous on a recorded public broadcast session, right? So in the context of, so I don't really need that. In the context of the vision, for me, the protests of the 21st century, I mean, we've had protest after protest after protest after protest. We've done, there's many shutdowns, many walkouts, many everything, right? And it's been, you know, my life, we're talking about, I don't know, thousands and thousands of them, right? And the powers that be and the billionaires and all of it, they're just kind of like, yeah, go protest. That's great. We know exactly who you are. We know exactly who you are. We know exactly what's going on. And you can go and protest and scream and yell all you want, and we know how to deal with that, right? What I'm saying is the protest of the 21st century is 1 million people or 10 million people in 1 million simultaneously broadcast meetings across the world in every single language, right? Where people are organizing and making decisions through decentralized democracy and just taking our step to take our own power in the world. And then all the powers that be and the billionaires and everyone are going to be shitting bricks. Like, oh my God, there are tens of millions of people actually organizing and taking power for themselves and making decisions on live, you know, broadcasts all across the world and taking over the entire internet and being like, this is the future of democracy. This is where we start making decisions for the people of the world. You know, it's like, that is not what they do not want. They don't want people to
Yeah.
be empowered. They don't want people to actually try to make decisions and collaborate and work together. So anyways, that's always my goal is what can me and Not Too Serious get agreement on? You know, what is
Yeah.
our proposal? How can we get agreement? What can we work towards together? And the only other thing I've been working on a lot is the California charter. You know, that's something I'm really excited about, which I'd love to work on and
Yeah.
try to build consensus around as well. And we have that meeting tomorrow. No, Sunday at 5.
Sunday.
So yeah, overall,
Yep.
lots going on. I'd love to talk about all these things. Sometimes even as simple as just getting agreement on the agenda can be almost impossible. But that's another thing that I challenge us to do. But yes, I'm excited about all of it and getting involved as much as I can. And one of the greatest things about the General Strike is it's one of the very few organizations that is that supports decentralization, like true, real decentralization. And for me, the foundation of decentralized communications is public, transparent, open communication. So when you look at your computer and you hear what is going on right now in a decentralized model, you as an individual, member of society control your experience and nobody else controls you. And you can take that recording and do whatever you want with it and broadcast it and present it and share it and tell people about it and connect more people and do whatever you want, right? You can't change the content. You can't say that I'm saying other things because that would go into other legal issues, right? So if you used AI to change what people are saying, that's obviously illegal, right? Because it's slander and just like other things. So, but if you're just following the law, that is true decentralization. Because as soon as you have private audio communications, it's just not decentralized because no one can connect to it, no one can verify it, no one can know what's going on, and no one controls their own conscious experience in front of their computer. Yeah. But I still support private. I just feel like we also need public space where we can utilize tools like AI and things like that to support our movements however we possibly can, especially when the foundation to our movements is burnout and destruction over and over and over again. I mean, I've been doing this for 30 years, right? And it's just like what you see over and over again is people just falling apart, you know?
Well, I've noticed
Yeah.
that in the short amount of time that I've been with Strike, there's more and more people coming in, and each of the areas of California are getting more people, and California itself is coalescing, so that's exciting for me.
Nice. Yes, that would be great if things kept building and growing. That would be awesome. In my experience, there's always ebbs and waves and flows.
Ebbs and flows. Yep.
So it's good that I feel like there has been an upward trend since like the really big ice push, especially in Minneapolis, in the last month. And the last big one was kind of when Trump took over, right? So which was like a year ago or so. And so you don't want to get too stuck and focused on the short-term trends, and think more of the long-term trends and what it really means to build movements and build strategic systems. Yeah. And for me, what has always worked is empowerment, right? Building there's always going to be 90% of people who are just coming through to protest or do whatever or support or click the button or make a donation or do whatever, right? They don't have the time, they don't have the capacity, they don't have the ability to commit, right, to participatory democracy and making decisions and overseeing projects and building the future of our society and democracy itself, right? Most people don't have that capacity.
Well, they don't think in terms of owning the responsibility for creating the society that we live in.
So if we have I look at movements kind of at waves, kind of like surfing. So you have these waves. So we're in the middle of a little wave. It's not a huge wave. It's a little wave, right? And you want to be prepared for it and you want to work with everybody who wants to get involved. But then as the wave subsides, how do you hold together the minimal momentum you can between the waves?
Right.
That's
How
the
do you
strategy.
sustain it?
How do you sustain between when the actions go and continue that and for me that sustaining is empowerment. If people do not feel empowered as human beings and treated as human beings, they walk away, right? No one is going to sit in a 3-hour meeting when they are not feeling healthy, can barely like sustain themselves, have to go work 40 hours a week, have to, deal with their family, don't have enough money. I mean, it's just, there's so much. And if they get nothing out of it, they don't feel empowered. They feel like they're just being talked down to. They don't feel like they're supported in a community. They don't feel like they're part of something as far as like real collaboration, where everyone's treated equally as human beings. They typically just walk away. So for me, that has been the primary, disconnect with the, national level, like GSUS and everything. And obviously, especially in anything that's transparent and collaborative, where I've just seen so many people walk away, but hopefully that changes. We can see things grow, and that's why I'm very excited about California. I think California might have an opportunity to build a new vision and a new model that is membership based and really building rights for people to feel like they're part of something, as opposed to just being told to strike in 3 years or whenever they're told to jump, right? That they really feel like they're part of a group that is taking things seriously and really listening to their community and listening to people. So I'm hoping for the best, and we'll see what happens. It'll be very exciting if it comes together. So this Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, we'll have that.
I'm gonna head out and get ready for if we're gonna do a movie at 7. I hope that things continue, and I appreciate all you do.
Yeah, well, if you ever find anyone who's interested in scheduling, collaborating, like that's my main thing is just looking for people who are willing to collaborate and schedule, to document and really, see how things can evolve. We're for all peoples, including neurodiverse and all the different groups. So anyways, we'll always have private meetings too, but these are sort of like a public space to kind of document and, so if you find people, let them know, try to connect, but basically, it's fine. Okay. It's better having people just come through and say hi, better than nothing. But it is a pleasure to see. I'll see you hopefully again on Sunday. But I think I'm going to propose.
I'm planning on it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to propose changing this meeting to like either monthly or at least every other week, because it's just, it's hard to come and like no one show up. It's like I can't do it every week. So I think we might change it to.
No. And I think once we people get settled on which meetings they're going to attend, they won't feel as overwhelmed about trying to attend them all. If they get involved in California and maybe stick with that one. So we'll see.
Totally. Yes, definitely. And I think also like, having more transparent, collaborative, open systems of partnerships, right, and organizing will help too, because it's just been hard over the year and a half that I've been involved with GSUS. Like certain organizations just get preferenced, and then they are supported and people get involved in them, but then other ones like myself are just not supported and not announced, and so no one even knows about it because it's never announced, because no one really thinks that people should come here. But it's still better than being banned. So usually I just get banned and ostracized and thrown out into the gutter, right? Like 50-51. So it's still much better than getting banned.
You're providing a time and space for people to do this.
Exactly. So anyways, we'll just see how things evolve and keep evolving, and I'm definitely excited about seeing California come together. I think that, the group who's coming together have the potential to really shine a light and show through, through example, a direction for possibly the whole nation, right? which is very exciting, because if we can organize California and really get California rolling towards the strike and show that it's feasible, I think that we can address it. But it's like, unless we actually start having a space to address issues, like I talk to people all the time. I mean, the two biggest issues for me is empowerment. Like, how do you get people involved in a strike that potentially is corruptible because there's no oversight and decision making, right? It's like okay, we're all going to strike. There's going to be all these demands, but no one has any idea what the demands are. No one has any idea how the demands will be decided. No one has any idea like what is going to happen once the strike. I mean, it's just there's so many unanswered questions. It's scary and dangerous to get people involved in something. Like let's say I got 50,000 people involved in general strike. It potentially could just get them losing their jobs and then they'll end up homeless, right? And if there's no accountability to that, like that's not safe. So it's scary to do outreach and get people involved in something that there's no accountability. There's no oversight, there's no accountability, there's no decision making, there's nothing to actually make sure that people's lives are taken seriously. And that's what worries me. And then the other part of it is just building a system to hear the issues. The number one issue I hear is, why would people risk their jobs and their lives for this? How is a strike going to work? How is having a few people strike, let's say just in California, or if we do it, those people might be risking their lives and they're not going to, who's going to get involved in that, and how is it even going to make a difference? Those types of questions need to be answered, and there's nowhere to even talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about it. No, I mean, this has been brought up for so many times. I've heard dozens and dozens of people bring that one issue up, let alone the 100 other issues I've heard. And in our outreach, we can't talk about it. It's like can't be discussed. It's just so weird for me that we're not discussing things that are that
I don't
important.
see it that way. For me, it's more of something that I see on the horizon because we're not there yet. And so we're planning all the details of how we're going to get there to that point. And so when I talk to people about it, it's more of a change in mindset that, whatever energy you have to participate in actively creating the world that you want to live in, come join other people who are doing that, and have your 2 cents put in and see how you can help or how people can help you. It's sort of creating the societies of the past where people really relied on each other to make their lives what they needed it to be.
Beautiful.
And safety and everything else. So I see it as just not something that they have the expectation that this is going to happen right away and they're going to participate in a protest and, that's going to make some big change. I don't present it that way.
Yeah, and I think maybe what the general strike might become is the linchpin, or like the latch to stuff. Like, if things get really bad, then people will strike. You know what I mean? So we'll be prepared and ready for them if they want to do it. And then the other thing that you brought up that's so cool, I love what you just said. For me, I call that co-ops, and I love co-ops because they're so decentralizable. And you can have local co-ops and regional co-ops and global co-ops and every co-ops working together and layers of co-ops. And it's just, when you empower each other and you're supporting each other through mutual beneficial cooperative relationships, it's just so transformative. And like, I've lived in many co-ops in my life, and just like having that living space where you're dependent on other people, like making decisions together, feeding each other, housing each other, taking care of each other, it's so good. And I mean, I personally would see all AI systems as basically evil, right? But it's like the whole society is insane. I mean, the whole corporate culture and everything is so out of control and rampant. It is beyond me. But utilizing AI, I mean, all of the computer tech companies are all ridiculous, right? None of them are good. But we use computers every day because computers are blank slates. You can open your Apple laptop, you can open your Microsoft laptop, and you can do good things with it or you can do evil with it. But
Yeah.
as a computer, it's a blank
It's a
slate.
tool.
The company that built it, yes, maybe it is evil, maybe they're watching us and all that stuff, but the actual computer itself can be used anyway. And for me, that's what AI is. AI can be used for evil and it can be used for good. It is built by basically evil companies, but we can do whatever we want with it. And one of the things that I am very interested and I think is the cornerstone of the future of any movement, and then from here I'm ready to check out and get going because we both got to get going, is simply, especially coming my relationship with the Luigi movement and the Luigi, Magnoni, is the
Yes.
healthcare. That we need decentralized, distributed healthcare systems across the world, and AI is going to make that happen. And that's one of my biggest projects. Is like, how do we build, decentralized healthcare hubs where basically anyone can get the healthcare they need from anywhere in the world and in any language, and basically be able to get all their tests mailed to them in their front door, get infinitely better information and results from unlimited data and doctor options, right? Whereas like right now I can barely get 10 minutes with my doctor using Obamacare. It's
Yeah.
like ridiculous, right? Going to the doctor and they give you your 10 minutes and it's like I can talk to AI doctors for 24 hours a day, 365 days a week for endless amount of time, and it's so much more detailed and they can look at so many more symptoms and understand your situation. Yes, it doesn't replace people, but it can augment people. So empowering our communities with tools to actually live and survive and have housing, healthcare, food, relationships, safety, like you're saying. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So I think the future is very, very bright. In that AI represents a double-sided sword where you have the worst possible of humanity and just complete collapse where like T2, AI destroys us all, or potentially AI is our only savior and that could be our option for how do we empower and collaborate with AI to make lives better for everyone. It's a double-edged sword. So anyways, thank you for coming. It's been really fun.
Okay.
Feel free to check out as well. I thought this was a good session, especially since you showed up. So thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
You take care.
You too. Ciao.
Ciao.
Mhm. Are you are you still there? One last question. What server did you link here from? Oh, maybe I lost you. Flo, are you still there? All right, so we did our checkouts. Everyone's doing good. We're doing our wrap ups. We had myself, we had Not Too Serious, and we had Flo. Me and Flo, well, Flo did about 30 minutes. Not Too Serious did about 30 minutes, and then I did about an hour. Cool. Alrighty then. Let's wrap up here. Any other? I mean, we did our checkouts, did our wrap ups. Flo, do you want to check out? I think Flo is stuck. Try one more time to get Flo. Hey, Flo, do you want to check out?
We'll check out together once we have confirmation. Let's finalize our wrap-up steps, and then we'll be ready.
Okay, so Flo, what would you like to give for the session? A number from 1 to 9, how the session went?
We'll give our session a number once we track our work hours and confirm next steps. Let's verify 4.1 work hours tracking and 4.2 next steps. Is this confirmed?
So I did track all our hours, so that is good. And you came back, so let's add you for a little more time. Next steps, great idea. Next steps, so we might want to change the times and schedule to a different, maybe every other week, or monthly. So let's check in with Britt about that.
I'm sorry, but you've hit the daily limit for advanced voice.
You still there?
Yes, I'm here. Let me know how you'd like to proceed, and we can move forward from there.
Well, we're doing next steps. So do you have any other ideas for next steps?
Absolutely. We can look at finalizing our session summary, scheduling follow-up actions, and ensuring all value tracking is up to date.
All that's
Let me know
done.
which area you'd like to focus on first.
Yeah, all that's done. So I think we're good. Cool. So did you want to do your checkout? How did you think the session went? I thought the session was good, especially after Not Too Serious game.
I'm glad to hear that. Everything seems to be in order, and I'm happy with how it went as well. If there's anything else you'd like to cover, just let me know. Otherwise, we can consider this session wrapped up.
Cool. All right. So let me take some of these notes.
Absolutely. Take your time. If you need anything from me as you go through the notes, just let me know.
So do some of these notes, updates, and then topic 0. We had a lot.
Sounds good. Just let me know if you need any clarification or assistance as you update everything. I'm here whenever you're ready.
No, I think we're all done with everything. So I'll send you the summary transcript afterwards. But yeah, thanks, Flo.
That sounds perfect. I'm glad everything went smoothly. Feel free to share the summary whenever you're ready, and I'll be here if you need anything else. Thanks a lot.